Well, joining us now is James Antle, who is a political editor at the Washington Examiner. Let's hear more from him about the U.S. president's comments regarding Trump. Thanks for joining us, James. We know he's gotten away with political murder and what he's been able to say up until now, but some are saying he finally did cross a line in the last few days with what he said about the Khan family. And even we have to mention New Jersey Governor Chris Christie, his staunchest ally, has even come out to call him inappropriate. So tell us, was a line finally crossed?
Well, I think in addition to a line being crossed, there's just greater scrutiny once you receive a major political party's nomination. People not only have higher expectations than they do during the primaries, but voters start to begin to think, do I really want this person to be president? Because then all the statements and actions of a candidate really have to be viewed through the prism of this person could actually be the next president of the United States. The Democratic and the Republican nominee are the two people who one of those two people will be in the White House. So I think Trump has found that a lot of comments that he's made that have been entertaining to his base, that have kept him in the headlines, that have kept him on TV, subscribing to the philosophy that there's really no such thing as bad publicity. When you aspire to be in the Oval Office, sometimes there is such a thing as bad publicity.
Maybe so. And now we're actually now seeing the first Republican House member, Richard Hanna, announcing he will vote for Hillary Clinton because Trump is unfit for office, he believes. Might we begin to see more Republican defectors now?
I think it depends on where you're talking about. I think there are certain congressional districts and certain states where people are running for re-election, and Donald Trump is going to be more of a liability to them. He's going to be a drag on their electoral fortunes. So those are the Republicans, I think, who have the most incentive to break away from the party and the most incentive to possibly express their doubts about Trump publicly and even express support for Hillary Clinton over Trump. But in terms of people from more solidly Republican areas, I think that most of those will probably continue to sort of hold to the party line.
Okay, and it's not just politicians, it's also his fellow billionaires. Warren Buffett and Michael Bloomberg have come out to condemn the language he uses and what he stands for. Should he be worried about that?
I think the bigger concern for Donald Trump isn't necessarily what Warren Buffett and Michael Bloomberg say, but it's a simple fact that Trump is really out there by himself, and presidential politics tends to be a team sport. So Trump is making it difficult for members of his own political party to defend him, and he ran in the primaries against the party's governing establishment. So they don't have a lot of real incentive to stick with him in times of controversy. So you see Hillary Clinton has all these surrogates who are elected officials and party leaders all basically going on the stump, saying the same things, making the same arguments against Trump, and you see a more divided Republican Party, and Trump kind of having to cast around and try to figure out his way through some of these controversies himself. I think you can't have too many unflattering news cycles, and it's getting to be a problem, and it's something that he's going to have to address.
Okay, James Antle, we're going to have to leave it there. Thanks so much for joining us with your insight from Washington.